Listen. When do you think God is most happy? When he sees you? Is it when you are in a good situation? Or is it when you are in a bad situation? The answer is that it is when you don't allow your situation hold you down. Your situation has no power over you, whether good or bad. Money cannot make you less of a praiser. So there are those, when they have money, they will call pastor to advise him. I've been noticing some things. By the way, did you receive my tithe? A thief and a robber. When a man doesn't allow his what? Situation to hold him. If this word determines your joy, you don't yet know the Lord. I know you are sincere. I know, you've told yourself that you're a Christian. But you don't yet what? Know the Lord. You can be a Christian and not yet know the Lord. You can be religious and not yet what? Know the Lord. If you look at the book of the Acts of the Apostles, you will see men who were directly connected to Jesus. Directly. And then you read the account of what these men went through. It doesn't look like the African version of Christianity that we've received. In our generation, I'm not Jesus Christ, I cannot die. That's what the pastor is saying to his members. So guess what? When they meet opportunities, I call it an opportunity, to witness to the gospel with their blood, they will run away. Because what? They are not Jesus. They cannot what? As tough as the thing sounds, it's a gospel that is anti the things that Jesus came to teach us. Why? Because that version of the gospel, it is a gospel that preserves your life. It's selfish. This is why someone can shout the loudest amen so that he can take his neighbor's blessing. I know in the days of ignorance, those things were allowed. But a generation is rising. And they are not just rising, sir, they are now here. Tell your neighbor they are here. Yeshua told the woman, he said, a time is coming. He now still says, now is the time. For some, the time is coming. For others who can see, now is the time. What is the greatest problem of man? A religious man will tell you that sin is the greatest problem of man. And then for others, they will have divergent opinions. For some, the politicians are their problem. Others, culture. Some others, religion itself. Some others will pick a specific religion. The Christians and pastors are the problem. But see, the truth is that, first of all, truly sin is indeed one of man's greatest problems. But now that that problem is dealt with, do you know sin is no longer a problem? Sin was actually a problem when there was no salvation. A mature Christian doesn't know sin as a problem. The teachings of repentance from dead works are actually part of the first principles of the oracles of God. Do you know? They are not the core anchor of the oracle of God. So I cannot gather you people together only to tell you about sin. Yes, it's good to understand the danger of sin. But that is not the gospel of Jesus. Are we together? Look at the book of Isaiah. You will see why he said the Spirit of the Lord is upon me. So if Yeshua dealt with what was man's former problem, and sin is no longer a problem. In fact, ignorance is greater than sin. The ignorance of salvation is what makes sin still looks powerful. The ignorance of deliverance is what makes oppression still what looks powerful. The ignorance of peace is what makes sorrow powerful. So ignorance is actually greater than sin. Why? Sin has been dealt with. So now that sin has been dealt with, what will you say, Prophet Joel, is the greatest problem of man? The greatest problem of man is worry. Write it down. It's worry. You picked it. It's worry. Yes, worry. What I say? Your greatest problem is your worries. Worry can keep you from operating in the salvation you already have. Worry is a container, it's a limiter. And when the Lord was speaking to me about worries, see, Jesus so loved his people. You know, you've been hearing Jesus through your pastor, so you think Jesus is like your pastor. So if your pastor is wicked, you think Jesus is wicked. He is a wicked man. It has nothing to do with Jesus. He is anointed, but he's a wicked man. His wickedness may be his weakness. He's anointed, but he's an angry man. If you look at him, you may think Jesus is an angry man. He's anointed, but he's a conservative. If you look at him, you think Jesus is a conservative. So when you look at people like us that can praise the Lord and go to our conga and say, doesn't this man know he's a prophet? And you may look at me and say, Jesus is a very free man. We can show you a part of the Lord, but we cannot accurately depict him. It's as we hear from the Lord. You see, if you're an accurate teacher, you actually teach from your experience with the Lord. If he was merciful to you, be merciful to the people. Do you understand? As a Christian, the experience of your religion that the world gets from you, or the experience of your faith that your brethren enjoy from you, is actually the experiences you yourself have received from your Lord. Now watch this. He was speaking to me about worries and the worries of men. And you can sense how much he loves us. Sin has been dealt with. Why are these people unable to arise and shine? And I was sharing with some of my brethren by the car last night, late in the night. Simply because of worry. Don't you know that this world has programmed you to chase a tomorrow you cannot catch? Yes. What I say, this world has programmed you to what? Chase a tomorrow that you can never catch. If you look at the Bible carefully, you will discover that Jesus Christ never wanted us to bother ourselves with things that are not within our power. If tomorrow is not within your power, why are you worried about it? It's arrogance to even make you feel you will see tomorrow. Who told you tomorrow is guaranteed? It is the one you've been given that is guaranteed. The rest is hope. And a hope that is a product of the faith you have in the one who has given you hope for tomorrow. Are we together? For a man on a mission, there's no untimely death. Are we together? This word has told you that live long, live. For a man on a mission, there's no what? Untimely death. You can die at age 40, a very fulfilled man. And you can die at age 120, an unfulfilled man. I don't know whether you know where I'm speaking from. Yes. So it's worry. What is the greatest problem of man? Let me tell you something he told me. The resources that you hope for in your tomorrow, with which you want to change your life, is actually in your today. There is no resources that can change your life in tomorrow. Everything you need to change your life is in your now. Don't worry, a time will come when I will have this. No, sir. Don't worry about that time. If you use now well, now we create the tomorrow you are looking for. The Lord told me something very strange. God is not the one that builds your life. God partners with you to build your life. Are we together? Woo, Jesus, and you don't believe me. They've taught you that. Don't worry, God, everything. Yes, you acknowledge God, but you have your ways that you commit into his hands. He directs your path. You operate in the direction. When it comes to building greatness, it's a partnership between God and man. Except the Lord keeps watch of his city, the watchman watches in vain. He's not telling you that the watchman is useless. He's saying without the partnership of the Lord, the watchman's effort is useless. So you can also say, if it's only the Lord that watches the city without a watchman, that city is operating in foolishness. Because if the Lord wants to speak to someone about danger, who will he speak to? So guess what? A lot of people sit down complaining about, explaining failure, complaining about many things. Meanwhile, they're ignoring the sound voice telling them, what do you have in your now, in your hands? I will not gather you here to give you false hope. I will tell you the truth by which kings war. When will your life change? When you realize that your life is changing. You are either in control of the change or your friends are in control of the change. You are either in control of the change or the government is in control of the change. But your life is already changing, whether you like it or not. I'm boring you people today. You don't see. Now, if you look at worry, you discover that worry hinges on many things. What is the first thing that makes man worry? Uncertainty. He's uncertain. The average man is uncertain. Forget the show of boldness. He's entering the business. He has done all the whole analysis, but he's still uncertain. So there's fear. The second thing that makes man worry is his inability to see the value in what he has in his presence. In his what? His present. Whatever you are doing now is actually a revelation of what is going to bless you tomorrow. Whatever step you take now, actually accumulating for your greatness or your fall tomorrow. Every movement that you are seeing now, the decisions you took to disconnect from negative atmospheres, the decisions you took to take your life in your hands and move to a new city, or expand what you are doing now by faith, not knowing whether it will work. Those are the decisions that change your life. The greatest men that ever lived on earth, they were controversial men because they didn't move with the crowd. One man was complaining to the angel. We are the testimonies we heard our father say, we are this. The angel kept quiet. After I finished speaking, the angel said, go in this, die. The might you have now, go with it. God will not appear to me and say, my son, begin to take down your business now to social media. I've opened the door. No, sir. If you are ready to grow, God is ready to build you. If you are ready to run, God is ready to supply strength. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. As simple as what I'm saying may sound, it will take away your worry. Do not worry about what you cannot control. The things that are seen are temporal. The ones you can see is in your control. The ones you cannot see outside your control. Allow the one that is not seen to handle what you cannot see. No, but pastor, my life is in God's hand. I want God to take care of me. Okay, don't bath. And then pray and ask God to come and bath you. It's so simple. I'm a very practical Christian. I'm a very practical Christian. I don't deceive myself. Religious palaces are only good for the hall. But when you meet life, you discover that you've been a fool. You want to expand, you can begin expansion, Braola, today. Brachima, that you are doing can expand today. If you lack the grace for expansion, pray for wisdom. There is something we are not seeing, that's why we are still here. That's all. Movers are men of vision. People that can see where others are not seeing. That's all. If you live beyond worry, you will discover that for the first time in your life, you will begin to live. Your rent is due in 3 weeks. Why are you worried? If you worry, will it bring the rent by some miracle? That's why I told you that sorrow is a garment. You can choose to wear it. I've discovered that you cannot do productive thinking while you're worrying. The teachings of Jesus are practical. Religious men decided to spiritualize it and make it vague. It was practical. He showed us practical things. Look at the way the animals live. The third reason why we worry, sir, is because we are looking at our lives from the lenses of our friends. Oh, look at this, my friend. Do you think if that your friend goes through what you are going through, he can still survive? Be grateful for your strength. That's why I say I can encourage you, but I cannot totally beat my chest and say, yes, I know what you are going through. I can tell you the solution. Oga, this is why preaching is a privilege of grace. Because the person you are preaching to may be stronger than you. What he's going through, if you went through it, you would have backslided. A life that is beyond worries. So guess what? When a man worries, he's always looking down. When last did you just go outside your house and just look at the night sky? I do that a lot. It will down on you that this world is bigger than that your problem. People don't like me. People don't like me. What people are we talking about? Who have you met? Where have you gone to? The you they are rejecting here is the you others in Lagos are looking for. See, if you know what the see, you are the one that chose to wear whatever garment you are manifesting with. A peasant boy that appreciates his slingshot will do more excellently with it than the garment of what? Of Saul. Saul's garment is expensive but not effective for you. Saul's garment is what? Expensive but what? Not effective for you. God blesses you immediately, you change friends. There are some of us, if God blesses us, we lift friends. See, life is, if you enter into the superior light, you discover that life is actually. Can I be honest with you people here? The center of life is in the will and the desire of a man. If you can control your will, I will not. If you can control that and control your desires, you've mastered life. Who told you a car is what communicates value? Who shared that with you? Why do you need 20 Jeep when you are not going anywhere? Why do you need a private jet when you are not traveling? Why do you need a big house when it's only you and your wife staying there? Oh my God. If you sit with the Lord, the way he speaks to you, you will know why he could not be understood. What is a fake life? A fake life is not pretending to be something. A fake life is you living to impress others. You are not living the truth of yourself. Casino. Maria Casino. Me, when I thought of a big house, I thought of many brethren. I've been staying, even now that I'm married, I've been staying with close to 20 brethren in my house. In the other house, we have close to how many brethren there? 20-something brethren there. To others, how will you live like that? That's why you are not me. I have grown beyond myself. I'm now raising a nation. Don't you know you can be a nation in these modern days? Great men of old, they didn't raise just family, they raised nations. You hear about Abraham and his servant, men who he trained, who he has killed in combat. You come out in your empty house, you look at your 2 cars, and look at us, and You say you are doing well for yourself. What is slave? You want to know you have value, lose everything and build. Oh my God. Can I be honest with you? The joy of life is pain. If they take pain from you, they've taken life from you. I know you may not understand. This is why some billionaires still commit suicide. How many of you miss the days of a primary school? I miss it a lot. You see, those memories, why do you miss primary school? Those were times of growth. Possibilities were open to you. There were many things you could become. That is the joy of life. When a challenge hits you down, you stand up, you position yourself, so that you can know that as you overcome challenges, you are growing. When life is too easy, the people will not have sense. Yes. Thank God for your enemies. Thank God for your failure. I told you some time ago, the thing that was pursuing you is what has increased your speed. Thank God for it. You know the greatness of a man by the greatness of his adversaries. You are nothing yet. Kings are your enemies. Thank God for it. It means there is a nation inside. Katamu. You are just a star, yet kings are already conceived. What do you do when you grow and you ain't time to rest? Expand your territory. Because rest in a small territory is temporal. When you get the man, get his house. When you get the house, get the kings of the city. Now, I don't know why the Lord wants to speak to us this way, but the simple truth is that if you can overcome worry, you've actually grown in your spiritual maturity. Now, I don't know how most of you walk with God, but my walk with the Lord is practical. I make friends with people whose walk with the Lord is practical. I can see challenges that they had and they overcame. Problems that came. Oh my God. Oh my God. You grew fast because you overcame many things. Ole Sahelo. Many of you knew when we started from the parlor. We are not ashamed to broadcast from the parlor. Fear a man that has given out what you are holding on to. You are holding on to your 10 cars. He has given out a car. Fear him. When I gave out my Maybach and my Range Rover for Kingdom, angels did not come and say, "Oh, son of Zion, behold the treasure house of cars." I trekked until I discovered I was not immune to car. I grew beyond it. You don't want your situation to control you. Let you grow beyond it by living above it.
Hello, thank you for watching the video, and I hope it was a great asset to you. And I hope it was also very useful time. If you haven't commented, if you haven't liked, please do that. And for more videos, kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel to get more videos. God bless you.